Good afternoon, students. This is your engineering material subject and this is the chapter 2 and the topic name is ferrous material and alloys. Earlier in your chapter 1 we have studied about what is material, the material properties and the classifications of materials. There we are studied about or informed about the ferrous material and non-ferrous material. So in this topic we are going to study about briefly ferrous material and alloys. So what is ferrous material? In a simple word, we can say that every ferrous material contains iron and the one element people use more than all other iron. Ferrous material are the most important materials in the metallurgical and mechanical industries because of their very extensive properties. Though the ferrous material have the very extensive properties, so we are using this ferrous material in our companies, our mechanical companies, our thermal companies, or in your metallurgical uses. In everywhere we can use ferrous material basically. So what are the applications of this ferrous material? Those are the all application we are using in our daily life of the ferrous material. Due to the strength and resilience of metals, those are the strength and the resilience, those are the properties of this ferrous material. And the ferrous material have the high strength and high resilience properties. So due to the strength and resilience of the metals, they are frequently used in high-rise building and bridge construction, most of vehicles, many appliances, tools, pipes, non-illuminated signs and railroad tracks. And those are the applications of the ferrous material because the ferrous material have the high strength and the high resilience also. Next is the corrosion resistance property makes them useful in food processing plants. It means like your steel. So in our food processing plants we can use the steel material because the corrosion resistance properties is very high in the ferrous material. Next, cast iron is strong but brittle and its compressive strength is very high. So used in castings, manhole covers, engine body, machine base, etc. So cast iron is also a ferrous material. So it has also the high strength, high resilience, high corrosion resistance properties, so that we can use in our casting process. That you are going to study about what is casting process. We are using your manhole covers in the plants and your engine body of the vehicles and many machines base. Next is your mild steel is soft. Mild steel is also a part of ferrous material. So the ductile and has high tensile strength. It is used in general metal product like structural, in your workshop, in your household furniture also. Then carbon steels are used for cutting tools due to their hardness and high strength and the corrosion resistant properties. We are using carbon steels for the cutting purposes. Next is your characteristics of ferrous material. What are the characteristics or what are the properties or what are the performance of the ferrous material? So ferrous materials are metals or metal alloys that contain the iron as a base material. Steel is a ferrous alloy. Your example is the steel. Steel is a ferrous alloy and there are a number of other alloys that contain iron. Ferrous metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. This is the most important point, that the characteristics of the material, that the ferrous metals are good conductors of heat and the electricity both. Metal alloys have high resistance to shear, torque and deformations. The thermal conductivity of the ferrous metal is useful for containers to heat materials over a flame. And the principal disadvantages of many ferrous alloys is their susceptibility to corrosion. Those 4 points are the advantages or the properties of ferrous material, and the main or the prime disadvantage of the ferrous alloys is the susceptibility to corrosion. Means every ferrous material has a high corrosion properties. So this is the line diagram of the classification of your alloy or ferrous metal. So ferrous metal. So see, at the beginning, here is the metal. It is classified into two. That is, one is ferrous metal and another one is your non-ferrous metal. Then the ferrous metal is classified into both. That is steel ferrous and another one is your cast iron. So here is the steel and here is the cast iron. So cast iron is againly divided into four. That is grey iron, ductile material, white iron material and malleable iron material. Next is this is already line diagram of that metal part. So in your previous slide, the cast iron is divided into four, and here the steel is againly divided into two, that is low alloy metal and high alloy metal. Then partly the low alloy metal is also divided into three, that is the low carbon material, medium carbon material and high carbon material. And the high alloy is also divided into two types, that is your tool steel and another is your stainless steel. So it is all about the line diagram or the classification of the metals. That is, one is ferrous and another one is non-ferrous. Ferrous metal is again steel and cast iron. Then cast iron is divided into four types, that is grey iron material, ductile material, white iron material and malleable iron material. Then this steel is againly divided into another slide, that is this is steel and this is divided into low alloy and high alloy. Again the low alloy is divided into these three material, that is your low carbon alloy, medium carbon alloy, high carbon alloy. And the high alloy is divided into two types, that is tool steel and stainless steel. First of all, the ferrous material has two types, that is one is steel and cast iron, that we have studied in the previous slide. So what is steel and what is cast iron? Steel, it is an alloy of iron and carbon in which carbon content is up to 2%. It may contain other alloying elements. In cast iron, carbon content is 2% to 6.67%. Lower melting point about 300 degrees Celsius lower than the pure iron. Due to presence of eutectic point at 1153 degrees Celsius and more carbon content. So types of your cast iron, that is grey iron, white iron, nodular iron, malleable iron and compacted graphite iron. So to get the cast iron, the raw material of this iron is called the pig iron. The pig iron is the raw material for all irons and steel product. It has great or most importance factor in founding and in the steel making process or foundry process or steel making process. That is called the pig iron, that is a raw material to get the steel and the cast iron both. So it is all about the types of ferrous material, that is divided into steel and the cast iron.